Environmental impact of nitrates in soils. Prepared by Victor Delegaj, Janelle Taubayeva, and Ujan Asılbekova. Nitrate fertilizers are widely used in agriculture. The great importance of nitrogen fertilizers in increasing crop yields is due to the extremely important role of nitrogen in plant life. Nitrogen is a part of proteins that are the main component of the cytoplasm and the cell nucleus, as well as nucleic acids, chlorophyll, enzymes, phosphatides, most vitamins, and other organic nitrogenous compounds that play an important role in plant metabolism. Excessive use of nitrates can lead to oversaturation of the soil with it and penetration of nitrates into groundwater. Nitrate pollution occurs mainly from diffuse sources such as excessive manure and fertilizer application on agricultural land or through precipitation on forest and natural landscapes. The main reason for nitrogen pollution is the approach to fertilizer. This is a very inefficient process because about 30% of the nitrates used to fertilize the soil end up in the coastal and groundwaters, and half of all nitrogen escapes into the atmosphere before it affects the plant. The use of the labeled atom method in agrochemical studies allowed us to establish that in the field, plants absorb only 30–50% of nitrogen directly from fertilizers. Most of the nitric acid salts accumulate in vegetables, forage crops, and in particular in all of the favorite watermelons, and the least of them are the crops of continuous sowing such as wheat. Speaking about the harm of nitrates to humans, note that everything depends on their volume in the soil. If it is small, then all nitrogenous compounds are simply absorbed by plants growing on the ground without accumulation in them. If there are a lot of nitrates in the soil, they will enter the crop in excess and then into the human body. Nitrates are quickly absorbed by the body and are also quickly removed since they are all well dissolved. However, too large doses of nitrates can cause harm to health. Harm to health is caused not so much by nitrates themselves, but by nitrites, which are converted into nitrates when they enter the human body. When ingested, nitrites can cause oxygen starvation and negatively affect the gastrointestinal tract. And the worst thing is they increase the threat of cancer. Another significant negative effect of nitrogen compounds are flue gases, containing nitrogen oxides from thermal power plants, passing from the atmosphere to the Earth's surface, pollute the soil and plants, which leads to damage and death of plants both by direct air contacts of the green parts with pollutants, their accumulation in plant tissues, and under the influence of a toxic environment which concentrates harmful components of emissions that enter plants through their root system and then into the body of animals and humans. Soil pollution occurs through direct precipitation of atmospheric emissions, flushing of toxicants from plants, entering the fallen leaves, wind transport, and precipitation, which leads to changes in the physical and chemical properties of soils, their fertility, as well as to contamination of surface and groundwater. To avoid the ingress of nitrogen compounds into groundwater, it is necessary to rationally calculate the amount of fertilizer and take into account environmental conditions. Emissions of thermoplants must be properly filtered. When using fruits, herbs, and vegetables, You should try to consume them during the harvest season and thoroughly clean them with acetic acid and soak them in water. This way you can get rid of up to 60% of the nitrates in them.